Hi guys. So I wanted to do another DIY because you know me, I'm hella into them. So this is a super simple recipe. As long as you have all the oils, you don't even have to have them all. I'll talk about different alternatives if you like. But the main ingredients are going to be witch hazel and aloe vera. You can add a little bit of distilled water, but I highly recommend the witch hazel completely if you can. This combination, in my opinion, is a little bit better. I did test out the formula and I like this combination better. You can use distilled water if you like. I do know some people that add it in there, but I like a pure formula, so I'm all about it. I went ahead and did witch hazel. Now, depending on how big your container is, how many wipes you want to do, I have about 20 pads right here. You can do as many as you like, but I think that's about as much as what's going to fit in this jar. So you can double the recipe if you like, depending on how many you're making, of course. So this is probably for about 20 to 25 pads, depending also to what type of pads you have. These are a little bit thicker than your average, like regular cotton round. These are meant to be like the kind that like lays in your panties, you know what I mean? Kind of similar to like, yeah, like the actual Tux pads to like either lay in your underwear or use to wipe, whatever you like. I ideally would recommend that you lay them nicely, you know, kind of like perineal liners, if you will. It'll help with all of that. It'll heal your hoo-ha, and it's going to soothe it. It's going to make it feel nice. It's going to feel so much better after postpartum and all that. Postpartum life, as we know, it's really rough. I don't know what it's going to be like for me, so I'm preparing for all the things. I want all the options. So I would say that the regular recipe calls for about 8-ish ounces of liquid. I'm going to do about 5 to 6, so this recipe is about 5 to 6 ounces worth. So I'm starting out with about 4 ounces of witch hazel, and I'm particularly using the Thayer's witch hazel, the lavender one. You can use the regular one, which is great, as long as it's alcohol free. Personally, I really like Thayer's because it is an aloe vera formula, and that's going to help with all the things. So personally, I recommend that one. It doesn't have to be the lavender one, but as long as it's the witch hazel without alcohol, that's what you want, because if not, it's gonna burn and it won't feel very nice. If you have a stitch or a cut or some healing situation down there, it's not gonna feel very good. So, and then aloe vera, as you know, natural as you can find it. Oop. I really shouldn't even be squeezing this out. I could just literally pour it out, but you know, here I am. I'm gonna do about like, say like 2-ish ounces, give or take, of aloe vera. Aloe vera, as we know, has lots of healing properties. And you really don't need that much liquid. Like it makes you feel like you do, because it's almost like you're trying to fill up this whole jar, but you really don't even need it like that. Like half an ounce more. Stir that up. And then we're gonna add our oils. This is where it gets real fun. Okay, so I'm using a combination of a couple different things. We have helichrysum, which is literally liquid band-aid, all things healing, helichrysum. Frankincense is healing on a cellular level, and it's amazing for skincare. It tightens some things up as well. Very anti-aging, love this stuff. Lavender is just anti-inflammatory in general. It has a lot of antibacterial properties. It helps fight infections. It's very soothing, very calming. It's all the things. Lavender does a lot. And then this one is an honorable mention. You could get away with these 3, to be honest, but cypress, this one we like to call the oil of flow. This one's really good for circulation as well. So that's why I'm adding this one in here, because this is going to help sort of pump your blood to make sure that, or not pump your blood, but you know what I mean, like kind of circulate some things to make sure that, you know, you're healing in all the right ways. Cypress is also really good for just freshening in general. So just to keep that area nice and clean. So we're not going to put as much as cypress. We're actually only going to do about 3 drops of this little guy. 2, 3. Most of the formula is going to be these 3. These are the most important. So we're going to do 5 drops of the rest. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, 6. Okay, just kidding. I mean, you know, a little extra lavender ain't hurt nobody. Helichrysum is sort of a hard oil to find, by the way. She is pricey, but she is worth every penny. It is probably one of my most used oils during pregnancy to date. 3, 4, 5. And helichrysum just heals freaking everything. A lot of the perennial healing formulas recommend helichrysum, frankincense, and lavender. So that's like the honorable trio. So now that those are in there, just gonna go ahead and stir that baby up. Now how you do this part is up to you. I know some people that like to pour it in. That's why I have it like this, because I like the idea of pouring it over the pads. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do about, oops, let's start with half of these. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little bit in the bottom, just like that. And then I'm gonna stick that baby in there. Put a little bit more, and then put the rest of it, just so that it disperses really well. You know what I'm saying? And then just pour the rest of it. And then this will get all the way in there, and it'll like distribute. Since it's in a mason jar, you can also like put it all the way upside down if you want to, because it is sealed, so you can do one of those. Whenever I make my toner pads, that's what I do. I just set them upside down. That way it evenly distributes all the way to the bottom. But because we put liquid on the bottom, you know, you don't necessarily have to do that. So I just kind of twirl it around. It starts to disperse, so you don't really need to worry too much about it if it's going to be more or less. There's a lot of liquid in there, believe me. Whenever I make my toner pads, I remember I used to overestimate. I used to be like, whoa, but there's actually a lot of liquid in there. There we go. That's it. Super easy. Hope that video was helpful. You guys have a great day. Love y'all.